just talking to Leon. He said he kind of modeled his game after Malkin. Do you see any similarities in the way those two guys?
Yeah, two big, strong, ultra skilled, rise to the occasion players. I can see that comparison.
Two big guys who like to engage, stick their butt in your face and along the boards.
Yeah, great puck protectors. Get people on their back and hold them off, and is still able to make the play with their hands away from their body. It's a unique skill set for both of them.
Do you think, Speck asked this question of Leon, do you think what Connor does is just after a while it's almost like exhaustion? People look at it and go, yeah, okay, so he's winning another scoring title or whatever. There must be other guys who can win the Hart Trophy. There must be other guys in the league. I mean, he's so good, it's just expected. Like with Wayne when he was there, well, whatever.
Well, I think we're witnessing unbelievable years from both Leon and Connor.
Yeah.
Both of them hit personal highs.
Yeah.
And I know that they, as much as everyone talks about those numbers, and they're amazing, amazing numbers, I'm most impressed with these guys is what they're willing to do to win. And they're driven to win. They're driven to push our organization forward, and that is where their focus is. And so whether they get enough credit for it, that's up to you guys. But internally, I'm pleased that I get a front row seat to watch two young men coming into their primes that have their value system in the proper place, which is they're driven to win.
There's only one star that I can think of that kills penalties like Leon. You don't see Matthews doing it. You don't see Huberdeau doing it. You don't see Goodrow doing it. You don't see, all the other guys we're talking about. Leon does. Is that because he relishes it, or because you're also your best face-off guy probably? So when you're on like a 3-on-5,
yeah,
he's the guy you send out to.
Yeah, I trust him. I trust him in every situation. I would add that McDavid and Kane have started a penalty kill over the last 6 weeks or so, and since they've been introduced to the rotation, the numbers have been good as well. I think players of Leon's caliber, Kane's caliber, Connor's caliber, when they're on the penalty kill, they have an advantage, and their advantage is they understand the mindset of the players on the power play. They know and have an instinct about them that allows them to anticipate. And, in the interest of not overplaying anybody, we don't want them necessarily out in the first rep or whatnot, but when it's most important, those guys are on the ice.
There is always the downside when your stars are killing penalties. You say, don't get in front of those shots like Russell does. Because Chris Russell breaks a foot, it's too bad, but if Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl breaks a foot, it's really bad.
Yeah,
is there any of that into having a star kill penalties?
Well, yeah, and like if you look at the numbers, Leon's minutes on the penalty kill have come down over the last 6 weeks. Connor and Kane go out. Usually it's at the tail end of it. But, I think they're smart players. And when they're smart players and understand what we're trying to do, hopefully they're not in that kind of position. Hopefully we're the ones dictating on our penalty kill where we want that puck to be or where that shot comes from.
Leon and Connor get a bad rap, I would say, around the league for not being good defensive players, but you seem to feel otherwise. So can you maybe illustrate one or two things that make you feel that way?
Well, I would say if you noticed anything in Dave Manson in my short time here, it's that when the game we're up by a goal or down by a goal, those guys are on the ice, and they've earned that. I completely trust them. I think they don't get enough credit for it. They're all what people don't understand is they're also, because they're top players, they're against the top players in the world too. So the other teams are allowed to do some good stuff as well. But I feel very, very comfortable with both Connor and Leon's understanding of how we want to position ourselves defensively. I think they stop on pucks. I think they're willing to give things up in the search of winning, not in the search of offense, but in the search of winning. And I think that goes back to Jim's original question, which is their value systems are in the right place. Yeah,
Connor seems to really be going deeper into his own end too. I know he was doing that a bit last year, but it seems to really be noticeable since you arrived. Is that something that you try to drill home with them?
Yeah, I think we put a lot of emphasis on not spending too much time in our end. So we like put a lot of thought and work into our work back to our ends in the hopes of transitioning pucks. And I think if you can do that well, that leads to those offensive numbers. Both those guys' numbers down the stretch here have been excellent offensively. But most importantly, what drives those guys, and I'm going to keep going back to that, is their value system is in the right place, and the team is in a good spot because of it. And our team's numbers are in the right place because our leaders are playing the game the right way.
So all that said, do you think Connor's having a better year this year than last year when he had that historic offensive season? Do you think this year is even better?
Well, it's unfair for me to comment because I wasn't there.
Sure.
I can tell you what I see. I see someone who's broken his own personal scoring record, and what I see is a player playing the game the right way, someone who is committed to the details that go into winning games. Him and Leon both play the most minutes up front for us, and they're driving our team forward. So in my experience with them over these last few months, I see two people that are driven to win, and when the best players in the world are committed like that, I think it resonates throughout the dressing room, and it's contagious. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to play the game the right way, and those guys are leading us.
What is there any thought to when you get back to Edmonton, you're going to need one more defenseman? You've only got 6.
We'll see. Yeah, you know how
Bakersfield's in the playoffs,
yeah.
going to the playoffs, so you don't want to necessarily call up Philip Broberg or something like that and say, sorry, it's so sad.
I think we'll see. Like, you know what I've been saying here. I feel like a broken record almost, and I feel sorry because I keep saying the same thing. The answer to that question, for me, it's one day at a time right now. And we had a very good practice today, a full team practice. I thought there was good energy, good chatter, and we're going to bring a good attitude into tomorrow's game, and then we'll see where we're at after that game.
So without Darnell, are you still experimenting to see who should play for the next 4 games?
Well, I think right now
does it have to be Russell playing with CC? Could it be Kulak?
Yeah, no, we can move. We're flexible. I think that's if there's one thing that you've seen with us is that we're not going to be a prisoner to something decided beforehand. We're willing to use our eyes and see things clearly, and try and find the right fit for when it matters most. Good, thanks.